Hi there, I'm your English coach, Christina, and welcome to Speak English with Christina, where you'll learn about American culture and business know-how to become confident in English. Coffee meetings are a fantastic way to advance your career and get caffeinated. You can have LinkedIn connections a mile or a kilometer long, but sometimes there's nothing more effective when you're trying to build your network than face-to-face interaction. In this episode, we'll discuss how you can use coffee meetings to advance your career and, of course, what to say in a coffee meeting. So grab a hot beverage and get ready to learn the art of the coffee meeting. Let's go. The only thing that Apple founder Steve Jobs had more of than black turtleneck sweaters was his many professional relationships. Steve Jobs is considered a genius in relationship building. He believed that the most productive teams were the ones that included people from different specialties. He found creative ways that people from different departments would interact. He even applied this philosophy to architecture. He would carefully choose the bathroom locations at his company so that people from different departments would interact. And the idea was that new connections and collaborative teams would form. Even if you have a small network, and even if you don't have a bathroom where all the interesting people meet, you can still expand your network. One simple way is by sending a cold email to invite someone for coffee, which I covered in a previous episode. A coffee meeting isn't a job interview. It's not a pitch meeting either. A coffee meeting is an opportunity to meet with a professional contact face to face. And this personal connection can strengthen the bond that you already have online. How can a coffee meeting advance your career? A coffee meeting can help you learn about an industry that you're interested in getting into. If you're early in your career path, you might learn how an industry leader got to where they are. And this knowledge can help you plan out your career strategy. Or you might learn more about the workflow and the challenges at a colleague's company. And this insight might help you improve the workflow in your own company. And of course, a face-to-face meeting may give you the edge if a job opening becomes available in the future. Getting hired shouldn't be your main focus, however. Although a coffee meeting is casual, it's a good idea to do research and prepare. What's the agenda for the meeting? In other words, what's the goal? If your goal is ultimately to try to get a job, just try to put that in the back of your mind because that's too much pressure for a coffee meeting. Instead, think of feasible goals. That is, goals that are easily achievable. And one of the easy ways to have something to say during your coffee meeting is to have a list of questions prepared. If you requested the meeting because you're interested in how the other person got started in their career and how you might learn from their path, you can ask them questions that focus on how they got their start. For example, how did you get started in your career? And this is a simple, open-ended question that the other person will have no problem answering. After asking this question, listen to their response carefully. You're looking for areas where you have things in common. And this can be a city that you both lived in, a school that you both attended, or perhaps an interest outside your industry that you both share. And connecting in this way builds a rapport and a stronger professional connection. While you're still learning about your invitee's origin story, you can ask follow-up questions that involve how they got their start. For example, where'd you go to school? Where'd you study? What was your first job after graduation? Keep in mind that after they share their story, they'll likely ask you the same questions. So be prepared to answer questions about your education, your course of study, your career path, and this is an opportunity to impress them and demonstrate how well you know the industry and your passion for this career path. Asking about their day-to-day responsibilities is a great question. This will give you a good idea of the kinds of tasks you might be expected to do further on in this career. And this knowledge can help you prepare and advance your career further. So you could say, so what are your day-to-day job responsibilities? Or what's a typical day at work look like for you? Asking the other person for suggestions on networking events or meetups is a great way to learn more about the career or the industry that you're interested in. For example, you can say, can you recommend any networking events or meetups that you find valuable? And this question is great because you get to discover new resources and communities in your industry. Plus, you have an excuse to follow up with them in email down the road after you have attended an event. And you can mention how valuable the event was and why, and thank them for that suggestion. Leave your expectations at the door. I'll demonstrate. While it's fun to imagine that this coffee date will lead to an amazing new job, that can put a lot of pressure on the meeting. Instead, try to go to the meeting without any expectations other than to learn. Be interested in the other person and excited to learn more about them and their experience. Your interest and curiosity will shine through, and that'll make you even more memorable. And don't forget, the conversation doesn't have to be all business. If it feels appropriate, you can bring up other topics such as sports or travel or, see if something resonates. I mean, who knows? You might hit on a subject or a hobby that you both have in common, which in turn may create even more opportunities to bond, whether that be over soccer or a favorite television show. Now, what about you? Have you had a coffee meeting? How did it go? And did you find that it helped you to advance your career? Do you have any tips on what to say during this meeting? If so, share all of that in the comments below. And if you want to practice speaking English, then consider my Faster Fluency Conversation Club. Members can participate in 3 group sessions per week. You'll be paired up in a small group with other motivated students and get some help from a Fluency Club leader too. The small group size ensures that you get plenty of practice to speak English and receive feedback on your mistakes and ways that you can speak more colloquially so that you gain fluency faster. You can get all the details and join the Fluency Club by clicking on the link below. You'll also get extra resources and a conversation guidebook to help you increase your vocabulary and become more confident in conversations. Thank you for learning with Speak English with Christina, and I'll see you next time.